Hello, my name is Luminara Serdar. I'm a scientist, holistic healer, nutritionist, and neuromodulation technique practitioner. If you don't know what neuromodulation technique or NMT is, then please browse on the website and look at the videos because it is a very amazing energy healing modality, actually information healing modality that helps the body heal from the inside out by giving the body an instruction to do something more biologically appropriate. But I wasn't always in the healing business, or I wasn't always an NMT practitioner. I started out as a scientist and I worked in genetics, cell biology. I was a molecular biologist and I worked during the time of the sequencing of the human genome and was very involved in that in a certain way. But I came to NMT and being a practitioner through my own healing journey. And that is when I moved to where I live now many years ago. I was sitting in the park with my son and I was just miserable with allergy symptoms. My eyes were itchy and running, tearing. I was sneezing constantly. I just had to keep blowing my nose because my nose was running. It was awful. And a dad in the park leaned over to me and he said, I know this guy who does NMT, he can get rid of your allergies. So I went to see him, and within 2 sessions, 90% of those allergy symptoms were gone, and my vision had spontaneously improved. Now, when did that ever happen? Never. I always went to the eye doctor and my prescription got worse. But when I did this NMT, my vision actually improved and my prescription went down. So I ended up working for about a year on vision improvement, and I did do eye exercises, but with the NMT, my lens prescription went down by 33%. And that I'd never heard of that before. So I thought, this is pretty cool. I really want to learn what this is because I wanted to understand it. And so I did. And once I started working with people, I would watch how things would happen that I didn't know were possible. So for example, I remember working with a woman who had chronic neck pain for 30 years because she had an accident, a car accident, and that just disappeared in a 45-minute session. And then I would work with kids. I would get calls from parents with kids with autism, and I would work on their allergies, and then something else would improve. I remember this one boy, 7 years old, who what he did is he would get chiropractic adjustments twice a week. And when we worked with his allergies, suddenly his adjustments were holding better and he didn't have to go as often. And by the way, I want to say that both of these examples were people at a distance. So they didn't even come and see me in person. I had people in person and I would see similar things too. So I thought this was pretty cool and I wanted to do this more because it was actually really fun and I was helping people. And so I started to learn more about autism and what was actually happening underneath, going to conferences and training. I'm trained with the Medical Academy of Pediatric Specialties. That's the MedMaps group, used to be Dan doctors. And just realizing all the dysfunction in the body and how we can correct that. We can correct that with NMT, but we also need certain nutrients and certain, you need things to put into the system, for the system to utilize. And then we need to be draining things out of the system that our body doesn't need. So a combination of all that is what I do. And additionally, because we're holistic beings, I don't just look at the biochemistry, but we have mental components like beliefs. We have emotional components to disease, like any past traumas, and that can really have a big effect, particularly with the immune system and allergies. And then we have the energetic system of the body. And by shifting the energetic system of the body, we can really make some big inroads into the physical body. So taking all of this into account, because we're holistic beings, that's my favorite way to work, and that's what I love to do. And I'm here to be of service and to help kids recover from autism and help people feel better in their body.